Hey, it's MK, and I am back with another Mixed Media Frenzy YouTube hop. And today we are scrap lifting this awesome layout. I'm not going to try to say the name because I bet I will probably butcher it. I apologize. So I'm going to use this Unplug word by Heidi Swap. I have a few scraps for my photo. Also some tiny words from Tim Holtz that I forget all about. Yep. I have this awesome 13 Arts stamp set that I got. And then a ton of mixed media, you guys. So this is Nouveau Glimmer Paste, and I think it's Pale Gold, Golden Era. That's what it's called. I think the Nouveau drop is Pale Gold. I also have my favoriteest watercolor markers on the world. So I have Warm Sunshine, Dusk, Evening Gray, and Lava Rock, all from Altenew. I also have a pencil, a paintbrush, and some water. And then I also went to my Cricut for this one. Oh yes, I pulled out some sequins, but I don't end up using them because I do end up using all of the stars that are left over from my Cricut cuts. So I went to my Cricut and I wanted a hexagon rather than a circle. So I put two hexagons together, I took out the centers of them, welded them, and then added a few stars within stars. Well, the first two that I cut are a little on the small side, so I wanted to go a little bit bigger and put my photo inside one of them. Now this one is just a hair too big, but I didn't feel like cutting it again. So what I'm going to do is layer up 3 of my cardstocks so that way I have chipboard-like images, or I should say, yeah, images is a good one. And then I'll mix media them later. Also went into my star stash and pulled out all of my stars. And then I have this really old glitter glue in yellow. And then here are my Nouveau drops. I have this pale gold one. I don't know what kind they are. I have this sample here of the bright gold. I can barely squeeze that one, so I hope that I get it in bigger bottles. I have Chalk Stick. That one's a vintage drop. I know that because of the shape of the bottle. This one here is Honey Gold. It's a glitter drop. And then this one is Malted Milk, which is beautiful, by the way. And I don't think I end up using that one, actually. So first thing I'm going to do is glue all of these images together. That way, again, I have a like a chipboard feel. Now, I do like having more than 3 pieces, so 5 is definitely my chipboard feel that I like. But for this one here, I didn't want it to be too thick because I wasn't really sure exactly the direction I was going to go, except for in my sample layout, I have a large circle and then a smaller circle that's kind of sketchy and then has stars in it around the photo, and then another smaller sketchy circle with stars in it up next to the photo. And so that was basically where I wanted to go with this layout. All right, so to get the mixed media down on the paper, first thing I'm going to do is draw out my main hexagon shape. I'm going to put water on the inside. That way I get my two-tone colors going on. I just decided to go with this gorgeous honey yellow, which is actually Warm Sunshine. And I love these watercolors, you guys. It makes me look like I know what I'm doing when really I have no clue. All right, I'm going to add a little bit more water, let that yellow kind of bleed into it, and then I'm going to use this gorgeous emerald color, or I believe it's called emerald. Oh, no, it's dusk. This one here is dusk, and it is gorgeous. I'm letting all the water do all the work, and what I'm doing at the same time is I am squeezing out my pen to get all that color out there. You guys, I do this all the time, so I'm not even worried about how much ink is going on the paper. I've never had to refill these. I do have the refills for them, but I never have had to refill these. If you guys are thinking that there isn't a whole lot of ink to play with, there's tons in there, and I'm still playing with them. All right, so I decided to let that dry, and then I'm going to add my stamping before I forget where it's going to go or add too much ink to where I won't have enough stamping. Now, from the inspiration layout, it does look like the stamping is kind of sort of on in two different colors. I just went with one color. All right, so now I'm going to go back to my faux chipboard pieces, and the first thing I was going to do is rub on all of that gold. Well, then I decided that I kind of wanted it to be a little bit darker first before I rubbed the gold, because the gold kind of sort of wasn't as visible. Plus, I didn't want it to be stark white. So I went with this color here, which I think was no, it's not the lava rock because of the different colors. Oh, this is evening gray. That's what it is. And I just, you guys, I can't tell you how much I love these colors. Now, I am having a little bit of difficulty painting these in a very fast motion because of the fact that when you cut things on your electronic cutting machines, it leaves a little lip of paper. And when I was doing the brush work on here, my brush couldn't get past that lip all the way up to the edge. Now, if I was going for, a little bit of stark white and a little bit of this and a little bin of that, it wouldn't have mattered. But this one here, I wanted to color it completely and no white showing at all. So I had to kind of like move my brush, in and around all of the paper cuts. That way I got a full good coverage. Yep, that's me. So I'm going to go ahead and do that to both of these. Now, as far as the little one that I cut, the one that is just a hair too small, I decided to go ahead and set that off to the side. I'm not going to use that today, but it is great to have in my arsenal. Yeah, so anyways, just moving on really quickly, trying to get this going here. Now, this is just, the photo that I'm scrapbooking today is just a photo of me and my husband and his grandmother at Bodie, which is a ghost town on the border of California and Nevada. It's supposed to be, or is one of the largest ghost towns still like standing. Like it has the most structures available to it still and whatnot. And oh my gosh, we still didn't get through the whole thing, to be honest. All right, I'm going to stick my finger in because I love putting pastes on with my finger, and I'm just going to rub around all of my images. I don't have a whole lot of this gold left. This is just a little sample jug that I get in my Tonic Studio craft kit. I do not have a full size one of these, or I definitely would have been a little bit more generous than what I was, but I was trying to make sure that I had enough to go around for both pieces. Now what I'm going to do is put the original hexagon down on my paper using stitching. Now, I could not put glue on the back of this, so I had to hold it in place before I could before I could stitch. If I was to have put glue on the back of this, then my poor needle would have hated me and it would have just basically ripped through the paper because it was trying to go through the sticky of the glue. All right. So I just glued it on and did my thing with the string in the back, glued it to washi tape, and now I have no problems worrying whether or not the stitching is going to go away. Now I do like I have gray stitching down on my hexagon. And I do like that because it took away a little bit of that stark white, but I like the fact that you can tell I still have that shape with the colors behind it. So I like how this is looking so far. Now the colors have absolutely nothing to do with the photo. Absolutely not. If I really wanted to go with the photos, I definitely would have went a little bit more on the bluer side, blue mixed with green rather than yellow mixed with a green. Just because of the fact that I just wanted to play, in all honesty. I did not want, I didn't really want to be matchy-matchy. I just wanted to play and have fun with this layout and this gorgeous background. It's, I love it to death. Now, as you can see, I do have smudges all over the outside of my hexagon. I have no idea how that happened. When I put my paper over to dry, Last I checked, I hit it with a heat gun and it was fairly dry. So I don't have a clue where those smudge marks came from or how they got on there, unless it was on my table somewhere and I put my finger in it or something. I don't know. So what I'm going to do is a quick fix. I'm going to take more stamping and stamp over those smudge marks. Now the first stamps that I put on there was a little on the crooked side, but by the time that I'm done decorating, I don't even notice it. So stamping is on there, it is done, and now I can't really see the smudge marks as much as when they first appeared, or when I first noticed them. Now, I'm okay with those. Yes, I am. Where did I go? I don't know where I went. But yeah, this is... It's just a picture of me, my husband, and his grandmother at Bodie. She is such a trooper, you guys. I just can't believe how well she gets around, and all the things that she wants to do to enjoy the grandchildren and stuff like that. It is so fun to hang out with her and do things with her and his dad and stepmom. So I really do enjoy our little trips and vacations like this. All right, so I'm going to go through all of my wooden stars and pull out the inner pieces, or I should say the outlined pieces of the stars, to try and represent the same exact ones that were used in the example layout. Now, I do have to say that all of my stars are kind of on the rounded side. So that's why I was like trying to pick and choose just the rounded stars. And then I also picked out a few, I don't know if they're epoxy. One set of the stars are epoxy, and then the other set is a resin. That's what they're called, resin. So yeah, I do have lots of different. So I'm going to have wood and epoxy and resin and paper, all that good stuff all over the layout, which I thought was a really good combination because they kind of sort of are all the same, but they're kind of sort of not. And by the time that I am done with the wooden ones, they kind of look a little epoxy as well because of the Nuvo drops. But I'll get to that in just a minute. I'm just trying to figure out whether or not I am getting my stars in the correct order. Now these stars, they come in like a medium and a teeny tiny little, which I absolutely love. And the stars are from Cocoa Vanilla, by the way. I do have a pack from the Not Just for Boys, but these particular ones that look just like the Not Just for Boys ones, these ones actually came from Cocoa Vanilla. All right, and then the wooden stars came from Stampin' Up. What I do is during their holiday sale, holiday catalogs, or seasonal catalogs, I should say, not just holiday, I shop for unique embellishments, and then they are only available for a certain amount of time. And so I will pick them up. That way I have, something different in my arsenal of supplies rather than just having, the same old stuff that everybody else has. So that is where that is one of the places I do shop for unique embellishments and whatnot, are seasonal catalogs, like Close to My Heart and Stampin' Up. Yeah, so I'm taking the inner bits of my stars that are from my starred hexagons, and I am just taking, random sizes. I've got 3 or 4 different sizes to choose from, and I'm just kind of sort of placing them everywhere. Now, this first go around of these stars here, I'm actually going to take the Nuvo drops and color them in. I'm going to do the epoxy ones first. I love all the different... Like I've got a dull gold and a shiny gold. I love that, you guys. I really do. All right, so first thing I'm going to try to do is color in with this pale gold. Like I said, I can barely squeeze this bottle. Now, I do know that there is a lot of Nuvo drop in that bottle. I just can't squeeze round bottles, you guys. I need flat or oval bottles. I don't know what it is. It's not that my hands are arthritic. It's just the fact that I don't have enough pressure in my fingers to squeeze round bottles. I don't know. It's just me. I avoid them at all costs. All right. Once I am done coloring in those, I'm going to take this glitter. It's like stickles, and make wavy little lines around my hexagon. Because when I looked at this inspiration sketch, or I'm sorry, layout, what I saw was a whole bunch of ziggity-zagged lines by Nuvo drops. And I was like, oh my gosh, that is definitely something I'm going to steal from this layout because I really do like it. So I went ahead and did it all the way around my hexagon shape. Again, taking that white and dulling it down just a little bit. Here's where I take some glitter Nuvo drops and put it around the wood stars. That way they kind of sort of look a little epoxy. Now what I'm doing is like I said, this is where I changed my marbles and decided not to do any sequins at all. And I am going to go through and put all of these white stars down, and I'm going to leave them white. I'm not going to Nuvo drop them. I'm not going to change the color on them. I want to leave them white because that is exactly what the sketch had done. Is all straight across the page is all these teeny tiny little white stars. Now I wanted to go with just the teeny tiny little white ones, but it was basically whatever I picked up is the ones that I was going to use. And then I'm going to add some splatter to try to make it look like it's going to get filled in. So here's where I add the splatter. I totally forgot to cover my photo. Whoops, my bad. Let me do that real quick. And then I'm going to add a little bit of gold going all the way around the layout rather than just going straight across like I did with the white. So that is the end of the layout. I want to thank you all so much for hanging out with me today. Be sure to check out everyone else that is joining us on the Hop. The last Friday of every month, we have the layout posted in our Facebook group, and we encourage everyone to play along with us and do the Hop so we have lots and lots of inspiration on the same sketch. All right, thank you so much. Actually, it's a layout, not a sketch. All right, thank you so much. Here are the close-ups of all of this just mixed media goodie. You guys, I had so much fun pulling in all the different mixed medias. I pulled in the paste, I pulled in the Nuvo drops, I pulled in the watercolors. I had a blast. I do like to get messy with my mixed media. I love to play with my products and just enjoy and have fun. All right, thank you so much, and I will check y'all later. Bye.